everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Sarah Werkel. I'm a marketing executive here for the University of Liverpool online programs. Our speakers today are Aref Hussain, Program Director for Law, Stephen Livesey, Director of Learning Technology, Sam Burton from Admissions, along with Sophie Robinson from Student Support. All here to provide information on each section and answer your questions. So if we go to the next slide, please. So in this section, Aref will introduce the online part-time programs available at the University of Liverpool. Stephen will then explain and demonstrate how you will study through our virtual learning environment, also known as VLE. Sophie will then go on to explain just how the student support team can help throughout your studies. And then Sam will go on to explain the admissions and enrollment process. If you have any questions throughout this webinar, do feel free to drop them into the chat or the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen as we go, and we will pick these up at the end and try to answer as many as we can. So now I will pass over to Aref.
Thank you, Sarah, and good afternoon to everyone. We're going to start by saying the university is well established and is one of a set of universities set up in the late 19th centuries and is one of the most popular universities in the UK. The Russell Group is a prestigious group of UK universities, a bit like an Ivy League, which is recognized as a premier university in the UK. The academic teams are involved in both research and teaching. Some are the best in their fields. You'll be part of a large alumni community and will be considered a Liverpool student, not an online student. If you are in the vicinity, you can use the libraries and other facilities, and you can attend graduation ceremonies just like on-campus students. Working closely with academic colleagues in Liverpool to put together really strong programs, Liverpool staff have been a really strong part of the program development, and their experience is evident on the program materials. Many of the modules are written by Liverpool staff, and then they are developed by specially trained educational technologists to make the material interesting. You will see that the learning platform has a number of ways to communicate and work with your lecturers and student colleagues. Our courses are designed to work around your professional and personal commitments. There is no requirement to attend campus event, and our students are located across the globe in over 100 countries, including Algeria, Kenya, Ethiopia, Nigeria, Canada, USA, South Africa, Tunisia, and many more. There are students of all ages, those who are just starting their careers, and those who are more established and looking to keep up to date with the latest development in their respective areas. The lecturers are all experienced. We only recruit those with master's level teaching experience, and many have strong research portfolio as well as industrial experience. We support the lecturing staff closely and have close working relationship. Postgraduate study includes a strong emphasis on peer learning. So you will share knowledge and experience with the other students on your program as well as the lecturer. We try to ensure that even though you are online, you are part of a large community of learning and shared experiences. There's a team of people who work together to make sure that the academic materials are at a very high standard. We have experts, academic faculty within Kaplan who work closely with our colleagues in Liverpool, and we also use our experience in delivering online material to match their academic knowledge and expertise to the best outcome. Our academic teams are either already have or are currently undertaking a formal higher education teaching fellowship, and we work together to ensure that you, as students, are offered the best tuition in a supportive and flexible learning environment. Recruitment of the teaching staff is conducted using a rigorous and comprehensive process for recruiting individuals who have excellent subject knowledge but are also committed to teaching and supporting students in the online environment. Many of the teaching colleagues have already led modules online, even before the recent event around the pandemic, and all of them need to demonstrate their aptitude and experience for teaching in a higher education environment. We attract an international cohort of lecturers which enhance the experiences of students. Next slide, please. We understand that our students bring with them professional and practical experiences, and our learning activities are grounded in ensuring a community of learning. You will work closely with professional peers. At a university environment, you learn as much from your colleague and fellow students as you do from your teachers. We encourage that approach through online discussion forums, which are supported and facilitated by our expert teaching staff, almost all of whom have at least a PhD in the subject area. We also have activities which are focused on your professional development. It won't be all essays, and the number of examinations is very limited. Most programs don't have any. We try to ensure that the curriculum is based on your real world environment that will be of instant use in your workplace or professional environment. In the next section, I will talk about each of the programs, but each of our program areas allow you to pursue different levels of qualification. You may decide to start on a postgraduate certificate to see how you feel and then proceed to a longer program. A number of students decide to do this. We have 8 management programs which are triple accredited by the AMBA, AACSB, and EQUIS. The website has more details. There are 6 computer science programs, some of which require computing experience and some of which are designed for individuals who want to enter the field or learn more. They are all accredited by the BCS, the Chartered Institute for Information Technology, UK. We have several programs in health, including Masters in Public Health and range of psychology programs, and we currently have 1 program in law. The programs are assessed through coursework. There are only a small number of examinations and most programs have none. Students study in their own time through the mobile learning platform, and the activities include discussion forums, which include input from our lecturing team, as well as interactive activities and essential reading. You'll be expected to spend between 15 and 20 hours a week on your studies, including reading, coursework, activities, and working through the materials. The modules are generally 8-week long and they run throughout the year. You may take a break from study if you wish. Most programs consist of 8 modules and 1 dissertation, although the Masters, Public Health, and MBA are different. Our admission team can tell you more. Our lecturers have office hours during the module, so you can obtain additional guidance and support if required. And we also have a team of academic colleagues behind the scenes to support you. There's a huge student support team, and you'll find out more about their role and support later in the session. Next slide, please. Management. Our management programs are among our most popular. All the programs except the MBA are open to you if you don't have previous management experience. The MBA requires you to already be working in an organization at a particular level. Most of the program titles speak for themselves, and our admission team can provide more information about the details. Unlike many other management programs you may find from other providers, these programs are very focused. You may find other suites of programs share generic modules across programs, but this approach is very limited with our provision. The digital marketing, IHRM, and management programs share 4 modules, one of which is a research method module. But otherwise, all modules are for the particular program only. That only means that other students on the course are focused on the same topics: finance and investment management, MBA, project management, healthcare and leadership, and sport business management All have dedicated program-specific modules, and we encourage students to develop an online community of learning by progressing through the program together. The Management School at Liverpool is triple accredited by AMBA, Association for MBAs, AACSB, Association to Advanced Collegiate School of Business, and EQUIS, European Foundation for Management Development Accreditation. Next slide, please. Computer science. We have 6 computer science MSCs program. 2 of these, the computer science conversion and the data science and artificial intelligence conversion, are designed for individuals who do not already have computing experience. The MSCs in artificial intelligence, big data analytics, cybersecurity, and information system management require a computer science background, either at a bachelor's level or through work experience. Computing is one of the fastest growing employment sectors, and even if you don't wish to work directly in the field, it is important to have an understanding of how the systems work and the developing technologies in the sectors of business, law, education, and health. The interface between these fields is growing in importance and will be of huge asset for future career and employment opportunities. The programs are all accredited by the BCS, Chartered Institute for Information Technology, UK, which means that the programs meet the international standards and benchmark for quality and relevant learning that is regularly updated and the high standards of the profession. Next slide, please. Academic practice. Our academic practice program is designed for individuals who work in the higher education sector and wish to enhance their learning and teaching skills, understanding and knowledge. There are 2 pathways, one which is accredited by the UK Higher Education Academy and one which is designed for people who wish to learn more but may not find themselves in a lead teaching role at the moment. The accredited program Pathway 2 also includes the award of a fellowship of the Higher Education Academy, FHEA. The students on the non-accredited pathway, Pathway 1, may also apply for the fellowship, but this is currently a separate process. Participants on these programs are usually lecturers at university, and there is a large emphasis on peer learning and support. Indeed, the lecturers themselves on the program act more as facilitators, leading participants and sharing their knowledge and experience and encouraging the participant cohort to do the same. There is a strong international and global vision which underpins the material, and the different perspectives add particular value to the discussions. Next slide, please. Law. The LLM in international business law is an exciting opportunity to enhance your CV or experience in a new direction, or to extend your current experience in law by adding business perspective. This program is ideal if you work in a corporate setting or aim to work in one at a more senior level. It provides you with a strong disciplinary and critical analysis skills that are essential in modern business settings. The individuals who take this program are looking to ensure they are well placed for promotion and senior level positions. The program accepts students from a range of disciplinary background, and previous academic experience in law is not required, although there are law graduates on the program and the syllabus is designed to ensure that they are catered to as well. This program is also well suited for individuals who are working in the field of government or regulation. Next slide, please. Health science. There are 2 programs which we feature under health, the Health Leadership and the Masters of Public Health. You may have noticed that the Health Leadership also features under management lists. That is because it is designed for individuals working in the healthcare field who are looking to augment their skills in management, leadership, and innovation in healthcare services. The Masters in Public Health field is of increasing importance, especially when considering pandemics, natural disasters, and conflict areas. It is designed for individuals working in governmental, health service management, and policy or planning roles at all levels. It is a multidisciplinary subject area which draws on many areas of knowledge and experience. Its ethos is closely aligned to the World Health Organization's principles and practices. The student cohort is our most diverse, with individuals from many countries with a wide range of experience which are drawn upon and shared during the learning activities. Liverpool itself is a world renowned for its experience in this field. The program is accredited by the APHEA, Agency for Public Health Education. The lecturing team are experienced professionals who have extensive knowledge in the different topics which are covered in the syllabus. Next slide, please. Psychology. The three psychology programs offer students different approaches to the field. The psychology conversion program is meant for students who may not have a background in psychology, but are aiming for a career change and wish to augment their expertise. It is accredited by the BPS, British Psychological Society. The mental health and organizational and business psychology programs are not accredited, but offer students a more general psychology experience and are more professionally focused. The first 4 modules classes of the programs are shared, so there's an opportunity for you to start on one program and then consider changing to one of the other programs if you meet the academic requirements. The mental health psychology will help the students to achieve stage 1 of the BPS, providing you already have graduate basis. If you aren't looking for the accreditation, however, the program is still valuable for providing training for working as an assistant psychologist or working in a range of chronic health or health promotion fields. The organizational and business psychology program covers areas of leadership, coaching, organizational change, and talent management. This is aimed at individuals who wish to understand how psychological approaches can be applied in the business environment and how to support individuals within these organizations. Almost all lecturers are BPS accredited and have PhDs in the relevant field of knowledge. Next slide, please. More information. Our admissions team can help you go decide which program is best for your needs. All our programs are led by experienced teaching staff who have experience at master's and PhD level and who may also be actively engaged in a cutting-edge research activities. Lecturers are engaged in the classroom and can offer individual support when required, through office hours or by arrangement. We have a rigorous recruitment process and work closely with our academic teams that we provide a high level of student satisfaction and academic support. Thank you.
Thanks, Aref. I think I'm next. And as part of this presentation, you'll get to see the learning platform. So I'm just going to share my screen. Just bear with me 1 second. And hopefully you can see my screen. I'm getting some nods. Brilliant. Okay, great, thank you. My name's Stephen, I'm the Director of Learning Technology. And in this part of the presentation, I'm just going to show you the learning platform and hopefully you'll get a sense of what it's like to study one of our online programs. The first thing to note is that the learning platform you see here is a central space where you would access all the resources you'd need for your program. So that is your reading materials, your lecture content, any assignments, the feedback from the lecturers. Also, it's a space that you'll use to collaborate with your peers and the faculty. So it's really a central space. We do plug in other services. So for example, you'll also have access to the University of Liverpool online library, but it's all single sign-on. So we'll direct you and point you out the resources at the right point in time. So it's one central space to access everything you'll need. Now, as part of this demo, I'm logged in as a demo student, so you actually see it through the eyes of a demo student. And I'm not going to go into every page of the platform, but before I go into one of the taught modules to show you some content, it's also worth noting that alongside your academic content, there's also a whole range of support materials. So, for example, we have a study skills hub where there are resources to build your academic writing skills, perhaps your referencing skills, and so on. There's a whole student services department that can help with any support you might need throughout your program. That could be to do with welfare, it could be to do with payment of fees. And we also have resources on career development, and there's a whole wraparound service that, again, you can access through the learning environment. So for this demo, I will go into one of the demo modules. So as a student, you have access to a dashboard where you can see each of your taught modules, and that's where I'm going to go now. And I'll jump straight into this computer science module. Now, this is a computer science module, but the same principles apply on how we design and deliver all our programs. So if you're interested in a management program or perhaps psychology or health, although I'm showing computer science, the same principles apply. It all looks very similar, just the content that's different, really. So first of all, this is the module homepage, and we try and make the learning platform as easy to navigate as possible. So you're only ever a few clicks away from the resources that you need to get to. And for example, you have a navigation bar here on the left-hand side, and I can see that this module is 8 weeks long. And to access the content, I'd simply click in the week of study that was relevant to that module. In the center of the page, we have space for the core content. So here we have the welcome message for the module, some introductory text and learning outcomes. And you can see, hopefully see it's quite clean and tidy. It's also worth noting at this point that this is a fully responsive site. So if you were using a tablet or a mobile device, it responds to the device that you're on. So you can access this on the go as well as on your PC or laptop at home or at work or wherever you might be studying. For this demo, I'm going to work through some of the key pages here in the navigation drawer just to give you a sense of some of the key resources. So the first page is a lecturer office. Now, every module is supported by a dedicated lecturer. And on this page, you'd see their contact details, perhaps a profile picture, a bit of a biography, giving some academic background for that lecturer, but also most importantly, the contact details. So you can contact the lecturer, ask them any questions you might have about the material that's covered in this particular module. Move on to the next section, we have additional resources. Really, this is a space where there may be some resources that aren't tied to a particular week of study, but you might find useful throughout the whole module. So that could be a glossary of terms, perhaps if it's in a more technical module. It could be links to additional software that you might need to use. It could be a social space, such as a student lounge, perhaps the grading criteria. So general resources that are unique to that module, but aren't necessarily tied to a week of study. The next page is the deadline details page. Now, this is really important because we have a series of deadlines throughout each taught module, and these are normally based around the summative assessment points. So those are the assessments where you're going to get a grade and feedback from your lecturer. And on the deadline details page, we can see those key milestones within the module. So in this module, the first piece of assessment with a deadline is a discussion forum. And actually, it's split into 3 parts. So there are 3 deadlines associated with that first activity. And I'd be expected to complete that activity before the deadline there. The second activity is a poster presentation. So again, this is an assessed piece of work, and there are instructions on how to complete these activities in the relevant week. But the main point here is that I've got to hit that deadline of in this example, the 1st of May, to submit that assignment. I then got another 3-week discussion forum, and then finally there's an essay at the end of the module. So actually there are 4 pieces of assessment here that I'm expected to complete. Now each module is different, and there may be some modules perhaps with just 2 different assessment points, perhaps 3. They might be discussion forums, they might be written reports, perhaps group work assignments. There's a wide variety of different activities that we ask students to complete. but this page will give you an oversight of those key deadlines that you need to meet throughout the module. It's also worth noting that the lecturer will provide feedback and a grade to these activities throughout the module. So you're constantly getting feedback from the lecturer. You don't need to wait until the end of the 8 weeks to get that feedback. You'll be getting that throughout the module. So it helps you develop your understanding of the material over the 8 weeks instead of one heavily weighted essay right at the end. This module is also supported by a series of live seminars. So again, on this page, we have a timeline, and these are the dates that are important to remember. Now, these are entirely optional in this module. So if students can't attend for any reason, that could be a time zone difference, it could be work-life balance, scheduling, it's difficult to attend the synchronous sessions. So they're all recorded. So you wouldn't miss if you couldn't attend the live sessions, they're all recorded. You can catch up afterwards. You can also contact your lecturer during their office hours if you want to speak to them on a one-to-one, but they are a good opportunity if you can attend to discuss these topics in a synchronous environment. And we use Zoom to deliver these sessions. So again, similar to this kind of room, you'd be meeting with your peers and the lecturer in a live session. And then finally, I'm on to some content. So now we'll look at a bit of content for the week. And we break up an 8-week module. Each week normally has a different topic. So in this week, we've got an introduction to trends in computer science, some introductory text. And then as I scroll down the page, I've got some activities to complete as a student. So the first activity is something called a lecturecast, and I'll just load this up to give you an idea about what a lecturecast looks like. Now, the lecturecast is our version of a lecture, really. So rather than a traditional lecture of someone stood in front of some slides for an hour, 2 hours, people sat in a lecture theatre, we break that content up into different formats of media and then build in short activities in between that media to keep students engaged with the materials. It's a much better format for online delivery. And it looks something like this. So we've got some intro text again. And I'll click begin lecture. And you can see here we start with a piece of video. I'll just mute the audio. There is a voiceover over the back of this, but it's very distracting when I'm doing this demo. So here it's sort of an introduction to the history of computing, and we've used some stock imagery, but it could be more of a technical drawing. It could be a process that we animate on the screen. There's a wide variety of visuals that we use to deliver the content. So now you see we've got a kind of a timeline building up. The idea is that this is a short piece of video to introduce the concepts. And I'll just pause that and move to the next section. And in the next section, we've got a slightly different format. So now we have a timeline with some graphics and some text. And it could be that we have an interactive activity, perhaps a drag and drop. I think if I skip forward a little bit, you'll see there's in this example, there's a multiple choice or perhaps a text entry. And really just an opportunity for you to engage with the content. This is not graded. It doesn't contribute to your assignment, your module grade, but it's an opportunity for you to check your understanding of the materials that have just gone before. And the lecture continues. And what I could do here is maybe partially complete the first section. I go back to the beginning. It will remember where I'm up to, and I can come back and sort of work through this at my own pace. I don't need to sit and complete a dedicated session. I'll just quickly go back to week 1 and show some other resources. So we've had a lecture. In this module, there's a debate. So students are asked to debate on something and then discuss the results of that debate. I just wanted to quickly show the reading list. So each week we curate a reading list for the modules. So here we've identified some key resources that students should read through this week. And this is where we link directly to the university's library, so you can access all these resources online. You don't need to go away and buy any textbooks. It's all provided online. And then finally, at the end of this week, we have a discussion forum. So I'll just quickly show you a forum. So this is a discussion forum, quite common in our online modules that you'd be expected to contribute to a forum. And here we've got some introductory text. So students be expected to read the text and then simply add their contributions to the discussion forum at the bottom, addressing those prompts towards the top. And then in this example, over 3 weeks, students would be expected to respond to their peers animate the discussion, and then again, in this example, it's actually graded, so students would receive a grade and feedback from their tutor on their performance in that discussion forum. And hopefully they can use that feedback in a forum that then comes later on in the module, so they can develop throughout the module. So that's a whistle-stop tour of a module. Hopefully it gives you some insight into what it's like to navigate around the platform. There are loads of features that I don't quite have time to go into this afternoon, but we do try and make this experience an enjoyable one and an easy one for students to navigate, so they can, the technology is not really a barrier, it's more there to enhance their learning experience. So hopefully that gives you a quick sense of what it's like to study one of our modules. I'll stop sharing my screen now. I'll hand over to a colleague, I think, in admissions, who will talk a bit more in detail about the admissions process.
I believe we will be passing over to Sophie to speak about the support.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today. My name is Sophie and I'm one of the student support advisors for the University of Liverpool's online programmes. I'm just going to take you through the Student Services Department and the support available for you throughout your studies. Next slide, please. So to start off, we have the dedicated student support team. We are mostly on hand to help you with any non-academic queries. But if you're ever unsure on who to reach out to with a question, we're always happy to point you in the right direction. You can reach us via phone, email, and live chat. We do also have a call booking system if you wanted to book a call in advance. And we're available 8:30 till 7 p.m. Monday to Thursday and 8:30 till 5 p.m. on Fridays. Next slide, please. We also have a dedicated study skills team who could help you with any academic skills you may need throughout your studies. Examples of this might be referencing support or assignment structures and feedback reviews. You can reach this team via phone or email. The team are also happy to do one-to-one support calls as well on a specific topic area, and they are available from 8:30 till 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Next slide, please. Our student welfare team are on hand to support your wellbeing and mental health. This team are able to create reasonable adjustment plans to support with any disabilities, and you can contact this team via email. Again, though, if you're ever unsure, feel free to reach out to the student support team and we can then point you in the right direction. Next slide, please. And finally, our student experience team are here to help you get the most out of your studies. This team can help with module feedback, careers guidance, and any graduation queries you may have. As mentioned, you do have the opportunity to join a live graduation ceremony at the University of Liverpool, and we hope to see you there in the future. You can also reach this team via email as well. I'm now going to pass over to my colleague Sam, and he'll be able to talk you through the admissions process.
Thank you, Sophie. Hi, I'm Sam Burton. I'm one of the University of Liverpool's admissions advisors, and I'm here to provide you an overview of our admissions process. I'll be covering when you launch your initial inquiry, the application process itself, all the way up to your enrolment onto the programme. So next slide, please. So let's start the application itself. If you've found your course and you're ready to apply, then you can submit your application via the link on the program page itself. It is completely free to submit an application. You will need to provide, however, the following supporting documents for your application. So we would like an official photo ID, most preferably an in-date passport or a driving license, an up-to-date CV, with information on your working roles, as well as making sure the CV is dated correctly. We will need copies of your educational certificates and transcripts with certified translations into English if necessary. We'll require a personal statement of around 300 words, and this should detail your previous experience, your ambitions, and why this course is the right choice for you. And finally, for our international and EU applicants, evidence of your English language proficiency at a postgraduate level of study will be necessary. For this, we accept an IELTS or a TOEFL certificate completed in the last 2 years. In some instances, we will accept school grades and country-specific test results over a certain grade. However, that list can be found on the program page via a link. If none of those are available, then your admissions advisor can create an account for you to complete a free online English language test called a KTE. And let's speak more about the admissions advisors. Next slide, please. So the admissions process begins when you submit an inquiry into an online program you are interested in studying. A dedicated admissions advisor, someone such as myself, will be assigned to you, and they will be on hand to answer any of the questions about the course you may have, provide any further information you feel you need, and to make sure that this course is the right choice for you and that you're happy before you submit that application. This admissions advisor will be with you for the rest of the process, right up to the enrollment. So you will have someone on hand ready to contact. They will be your first point of contact throughout the entire admissions process. So when applying, the admissions advisor will be the one who helps you build out that application pack, make sure you get those supporting documents in hand. They will then submit the application for review with our admissions review team. The admissions review team will review it. If they need anything else, they will contact your admissions advisor. Your admissions advisor will get in touch with them. Once everything's in hand, that application is then sent to the Director of Studies for the course for that final review. This process can usually take up to 10 working days to hear back on your outcome. However, this can vary on a case-by-case basis. So, application's been reviewed. Let's say it's successful. Your application advisor will be in touch with the good news, and they will send you an offer letter with your study plan and payment plan as well. In order to be enrolled, you will need to first accept your offer within 14 days of it being sent, and you will also need to make your deposit payment, again, within 14 days of that offer being sent. This deposit payment will also count as the first installment on your course fees. If you're not paying installments and you're paying up front, you would be expected to pay this full fee in the first 14 days. And could we move on to the next slide, please? So the fees do vary across our programs depending on the program, and they also vary based on the level of qualification, as the University of Liverpool does offer a progression pathway upwards through the different levels of award. So we start with the postgraduate award. This is worth 30 credits. It takes 5 months of study, and the fee will be £2,677.50. Now, I will just note that any fees I go through here are the fees for the current 2023-2024 academic year. Moving on now, we then have the postgraduate certificate. This is worth 60 credits. It will take you 10 months of study, and the course fee is £5,355. Moving on, after the certificate, there is the postgraduate diploma credit worth 120. The duration is 20 months, and the course fee is £10,710. And we could move on to the next slide, please. So all of our masters are fundamentally part-time courses, and as such are only available in a part-time format, which means they will take 30 months of study to complete, which is about 2.5 years. So with our Masters of Science, these are worth a full 180 credits. As I just said, they'll take 30 months of study, and the headline fee is £16,065. We offer a Master of Public Health as well. Again, credits 180. Again, the duration is 30 months, and the headline fee is £16,065. And lastly, we have our Master of Business Administration, our MBA, worth 180 credits, duration of 30 months, and the fee for this course is £22,050. And if we could just move on to my next slide, please. So we do offer regional scholarships of up to 15% depending on your country of residency. Now, this is something your admissions advisor would be on hand to discuss with you and give you further information on. We also offer, as I mentioned earlier, we do upfront payments, and if you are paying for your course upfront, you'll receive an additional 5% discount on that course. We offer an alumni discount. So if you have previously studied at the University of Liverpool, you will be entitled to a 10% alumni discount on those tuition fees. And it is worth bearing in mind that throughout the year, we do offer executive scholarships on specific programs. For example, we are currently running a 20% scholarship for our Masters in Management. So we do advise keeping an eye on the website so you can stay up to date. And if we could move on to the last slide, please. So if you have any questions, you can visit the first link on this slide and contact us, and you will be assigned an admissions advisor straight away. If you're ready to apply, you can use the second link, and again, your application would be sent to an admissions advisor. For a lot of our master's programs, we have start dates coming up in May, and for our MBA and our MPH, we have April and July start dates as well in this academic year. And if you want to find out more, like I said, you can just get in touch with our admissions team. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sam, and thank you, Aref, Stephen, and Sophie. We hope this has given you all a great insight into the online programs here at the University of Liverpool. And now I believe it's time to head over to the Q&A section of the webinar. So please do feel free to send them in. And the first question is, how will I be assessed?
Assessment, as I mentioned before, is through coursework. So you'll be asked to do sometimes group presentation, a poster, a slide deck presentation, an essay. There are very small number of examinations, and as I said, most programs do not have any. So you will have can view the assessments from day one. So you enroll in the module tomorrow. From tomorrow, you can see all of your assessments. However, we don't encourage you to submit as soon as possible, just because we teach you on the topics of these assessments unit by unit and week by week. I hope this helps.
Great, thank you, Aref. The next question is, can I spread the fee payment?
Yeah, I don't mind answering this one. So during the admissions process, you would work out your payment plan with your admissions advisor. So they would ask you, are you paying for the course up front, or are you paying in monthly installments? Those monthly installments are divided by the duration of your course as well as the cost. But yes, it is an option to spread those payments out across the months of your study. But whilst you are enrolled, you will need to make a monthly payment per month of your enrollment. Hopefully that makes sense.
Cool, thank you, Sam. And the next question is, how will I interact with other students?
I could take this one. There's almost always some form of discussion forum within the taught modules, so you'd be expected to contribute to those if they were part of an assessment. But they're also used to support group work. There may be some group work elements within your modules which could be assessed or non-assessed. And again, we'll give you the tools through the platform to communicate with your fellow students. You'd also communicate with your lecturer. Again, that might be through the platform, it might be through email. The platform also has a messaging system. So if you're working on a group project together, you might use the messaging. Really depends on what it is you're working on. But there'll be channels through the platform that you could use as a student to build that learning community online.
Great, thank you, Stephen, for that. And the next question we have is, can I start a postgraduate diploma and then move on to master's?
Yes, you could do that. A short answer. You can start on any kind of certificate and then decide and say, well, I would like to progress to attain the longer one. So if in law, for instance, you can start in PG Cert and then or PG Diploma and then say, I would like to pursue the full LLM. And that is possible, yes.
Great, thank you, Aref. And the next question is, what does the fees include? Is there any extra fees required in the program?
So during the admissions process, we typically outline that the fee will pay for the entire course, regardless of whether that's a 5-month course or a 2.5-year course. The upfront, the headline fee is for the whole course, as well as complete access to the virtual learning environment. It will be access to all of your reading lists, your lecture casts, everything you need to complete your studies, find success in your studies, will be covered by that first payment, that cost.
Great, thank you, Sam. The next question is regarding electives. So could someone choose 3 electives out of 6? So for example, could they pay extra to do 5 of the electives?
So each program has their own number of elective modules that you would need to pass to progress to attain the longer kind of certificate. So usually electives, when you finish electives, you would have attained postgraduate diploma by then. If you are wanting to study the others that do not count toward your certificate and toward your degree, there is a possibility of doing that. Yes, but as I said, they do not count toward your certificate at the end.
Great, thank you, Aref. The next question is, if someone is studying in their home country, could they apply for an online program at Liverpool simultaneously?
I could take that. Yes, you do, bearing that you satisfy either the academic route to be eligible to be a student or the professional one. So if you have your bachelor degree, for instance, or you have 10 years, depends on the program, the number of years of experience, work experience, but bearing that you satisfy that, you can enter and study simultaneously. We don't usually recommend that because it could be a lot. It could be a lot for you to take on, but you could in principle.
Oh, thank you, Aref. The next question is, when you get an offer letter and you have accepted the offer and paid the deposit, when will you get an access to the course, an email address, etc.?
So I can take this one. So you have your offer letter. Now, it would, if you were applying for a May start date and it was March, you may have to wait for a few weeks closer to that start date. But essentially, you'll be given them with enough time before the actual start date for you to complete your induction modules, for you to get well abreast of the introductory content and what's coming up. You would receive it with a healthy amount of time before that start date begins.
And just to add to that as well, once you have been sent all of your login information, the student support team will be in touch and we will offer you a one-to-one welcome call. We are more than welcome to answer any questions. We can run through any issues that you're having with logging in, and we're happy to support you at that point as well.
Cool. Thank you, Sophie and Sam, for answering this question. The next one we have is, does the MBA program have specializations? If yes, what are they?
I'm sorry, does the MBA program has what?
Specializations, specialist pathways, I believe.
I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure either. I don't think the MBA has
I don't think
specialist
so.
pathways, if that's the question, but we might have to check on that. Apologies.
The next question is, will I have a graduation ceremony?
Yes, when you satisfy all the requirement to graduate and you get your graduation letter, you'll be invited to a graduation ceremony in the University of Liverpool. And as I mentioned in my presentation, you are not there as an online student, you're there as a University of Liverpool student.
Cool, thank you. Next question is, does a UK resident need to prove their language level?
So, slight tricky one here. It would depend on your nationality rather than your country of residency for proof of your English language proficiency. Certain things include if you've already studied through the medium of English, that is totally accepted as proof of your English language proficiency. But yes, depends on nationality rather than residency. So yeah.
Great, thank you for that. And another question is, will my award say online?
No, it wouldn't say online. It would say University of Liverpool. You're just a student in the University of Liverpool.
Great, thank you. And the next question is, which might be for Sophie, which is what happens when I enroll?
So once a student is enrolled, you'll be passed over to us as your student support team. As I mentioned, we'll be happy to offer you a one-to-one welcome call to get you started with your studies. You'd then begin a 2-week induction module, which is kind of just a general introduction to studying online, gives you the opportunity to get used to the learning platform and to meet your peers as well. And then from that point onwards, you'll be on your way with your taught modules. However, throughout that, the student support team are on hand to answer any questions that you have at any point. I hope that helps.
Great, thank you. And the next question we have is, can you apply for 2 different programs?
So there's nothing to stop you from sending in 2 applications for 2 different programs. It would mean you would have to write 2 different personal statements, for example, relating to each program. However, we wouldn't be able to send you 2 offer letters saying if you were successful for both of them. You would need to make a decision before we could send any offer letter out. But yes, you can apply for more than 1 course at once. But do remember, I mentioned that 10-day working process, so you'd have to keep that in mind as well. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And I believe we have time for a few more questions. So the next question is, are the online master's degrees equivalent to their on-campus versions?
Yes, of course. There are University of Liverpool programs. They're not Kaplan Open Learning programs. They are University of Liverpool programs. So they are from the university. They are designed by the university. You are a student of University of Liverpool as well. Thank you.
Great, thank you for that. And I believe the last question is, do I need to apply for a visa to be able to apply for the program?
So due to our courses being 100% online courses, there is no requirement for you to travel in order to complete your studies here. So in answer to your question, no, you would not need to apply for a visa to be enrolled onto one of our courses.
Okay, thank you. I believe that concludes this session. Thank you to our speakers and thank you to everyone for joining us. If you do have any more questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us by visiting our website. And yeah, I wish you all a great day and thank you all for joining.